Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I have a new album review by the band Flotsam and Jetsam. The album is called Blood in the Water. But before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and a lot more. So Flotsam and Jetsam, they are a thrash metal band. They were formed in Phoenix, Arizona. And this is the band they're known for being the band with like Jason Newsted playing on their first album. But Jason Newsted only played on one album that's called Doomsday for the Deceiver. That was a really awesome classic thrash metal album. One of the pioneers of like thrash metal. This album was followed up by No Place for Disgrace. And this is where I discovered the band. So the first time I remember watching Headbangers Ball, and I saw a video for Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and I thought it was kind of strange that they covered like an Elton John song, but this is actually one of Elton John's, I guess you can say, like his heaviest songs, and they really made it work, and it's a really great song. So those first two albums are really awesome albums, and this is a band that has released albums consistently, like mostly through the 80s and 90s. More recently, they have been like releasing a lot of albums like in the past 10 years. So their album before this was called The End of Chaos. That was a really good album, very like heavy melodic album. And this new album called Blood in the Water does have a similar style, which I will talk about right now. So basically Flotsam and Jetsam, they are a thrash band, but they're a type of thrash band that's like a hybrid of like thrash metal and traditional heavy metal. So this album, Blood in the Water, has a lot of elements of thrash, but also more like heavy metal things, specifically the band Iron Maiden. Now I will be mentioning that band a lot during this review, and mostly on some specific songs. But this album is still very heavy. There's lots of blast beats, lots of heavy riffs, lots of thrashy riffs. On vocals we have Erik, aka Knutson, and he has a style that sounds almost like Bruce Dickinson at times, and at other times he's just still very heavy. But he has more of a singing style, which is kind of like what really makes this band what it is. The band also has Michael Gilbert on guitars and Steve Connolly on guitars, and they really work together to create some like melodic leads and some really heavy riffs. The album has 12 songs, a runtime of 53 minutes, and I'm just going to talk about 7 of the 12 songs just to give you an overview of what this album is about. Then I'll give you my final thoughts. So let me get into the songs. The first one I want to talk about is the opening track called Burn the Sky, and it's just very heavy. It's fast, just comes right out of the gate, super fast, just knocks you over. Got some really super heavy blast beats. There's some melodic guitar work there, kind of very reminiscent of like a traditional heavy metal sound. The vocals sound really great. The vocals, like I said before, they are more like heavy metal vocals. They're not like heavy thrash. It's not death. It's not like guttural. It's just aggressive, clean, singing. The song is very melodic. The chorus is very melodic as well, but it doesn't lose its heaviness. So a really great start to the album. The next song is called Brace for Impact, and this one reminds me more of like an old school like heavy metal thrash song. The opening riff, it's very heavy and crunchy, and it's just a fast-paced song. The vocals do remind me a bit of Iron Maiden again, but the part I like about this song the best is the breakdown. Comes in about 2.5 minutes, it just slows down. We've got some clean guitars, it's atmospheric, and this is just also has that like Iron Maiden feel. The riff at the end of the song does remind me of like an old like Iron Maiden song. And I really like it a lot. I like that last riff and that last 30 seconds. That's kind of what really makes this song. Now, speaking of Iron Maiden, the next song is called The Walls. And this is like the most like Iron Maiden-esque song. It's very melodic, more on the traditional heavy metal side than it is on the thrash metal side. It's probably one of the most catchiest songs, the most melodic song. I mean, it's not really soft. I mean, it has the galloping guitars. It's still heavy, but this is just one of the more like memorable standout songs. And next is a song called Cry for the Dead, and this is a ballad, but it's like a traditional like 80s like thrash power ballad. You know, Erik has some more melodic vocals in the intro, and it's the type of song, there's some parts where it's like slow clean guitars, then it gets like really heavy, really fast, then it slows down again. So it's one of those songs, like one of those like roller coaster kind of songs where it just gets heavy, gets light, but it is very enjoyable. It's a very different type of song on the album, which I really liked. You know, it's still very melodic, even the heavy sections are melodic. And, you know, Erik's vocals still sound great, a little bit more on the aggressive side when he does the aggressive parts, and very clean on the clean parts, but this is a great song. Next one I want to talk about is called Too Many Lives, and this is a heavy song, has some melodic clean guitars in the intro, but it does really get heavy afterwards. Has some blast beats, and it's probably like overall one of the heavier songs on the album. Very, it's thrashy, and like most of the songs, there's like a melodic breakdown that goes right into the guitar solo. The guitar solo it's fast, it's heavy, it shreds, but still has that melodic quality to it. That's what I like. The next song is called Reaggression, and this one's very heavy, but this is more of like an old school thrash metal band. You know, it's a thrash metal song, I meant to say. It reminds me of the band Forbidden for some reason. You know, it has that like melody to it. It's fast and heavy. Again, like most of the songs, really great breakdown. Some clean guitars sound very good. So this is a good one. And the last song is called 7 Seconds Till the End of the World. It was just kind of a strange title because, I mean, 7 seconds, the song doesn't even get to take off. But anyway, but it's very great closer. You know, it's fast, it's heavy, and it just has like really some great, nice riffs. And it's really a nice way to kind of end out the album. So it's pretty much everything you would ask for in a Flotsam and Jetsam song. So in conclusion, I did like this album a lot. Now, I did review a band called Artillery not long ago, and that band has a style which is like a mix of like thrash and power metal. And this album, like at the first listen, reminded me a little of that. But the second listen, it did grow on me a lot more. And I think Flotsam and Jetsam is more of like a hybrid of thrash and like traditional heavy metal. And I actually like this one a lot better than the Artillery album. Songs are very well written. There's a lot of variety on the album. It doesn't feel like a long album. You know, I gave it 2 listens. Like I said, I liked it on the second listen. So this album will probably get better over time. You know, I'm gonna give it a high score of a 9 out of 10. But I do think it's an album that will improve. I think if you like thrash metal, you're gonna like it. If you like power metal, you will like it. You know, some people might like thrash metal, but don't like the really super extreme thrash metal. I'm thinking of a band like Creator. If you're someone you like Iron Maiden, you like Judas Priest, you like early Metallica, you know, this band is kind of a mix of like all those 3 bands, and if you like those bands, you will like this. It is very enjoyable. Like I said, 9 out of 10. And I think this will be on my end of the year list as like my top thrash albums of the year. I remember last year I did a top 5 thrash albums. I might do a top 10. Let's see how many I can come across, but I think this is a very good album. So that's it. Comment below, let me know how you feel. How does it stand up against the other albums? Let's get a conversation going. And tomorrow, another new album review, but this will be an album by Billy Gibbons, the ZZ Top guitarist. He released a solo album, and I gave it a listen. I liked it, so I decided I'm going to review that instead of the other metal albums that came out this weekend. That will be Sunday night. Monday night, I will continue with my top 50 songs that shaped my musical journey. I'm down to the top 20, so this is going to be great. And I do want to finish sometime around my birthday, so that's kind of why I'm doing it that way. So that's it. Let me end. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my in-video links. See you in the next one.